Our theme today is the kiss.
And our next yarn slinger is Nancy Dymond.
That time I French kissed my grandmother. This is not sordid, I promise. It was truly accidental. She had nothing to do with it, really, but I'll get back to that later. I matured very early, too early in fact. I was 9 when puberty discovered me. Most girls are around 14 or 15, which fits in with nature's plan to make her ready for adult things, like seeing R-rated movies and staying out past 10 on a Saturday night. So by 12 years old, I had a feeling for the opposite sex that may have been a bit precocious. My adolescent passions poured out in fan love, shrieking in delirious delight at the Beatles, swooning over Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones. I sang "I'm Henry VIII I Am" along with Herman's Hermits and felt glad all over with the Dave Clark Five. I went absolutely bonkers over the British invasion. We all did. In junior high school, I had a friend, Susan, who paid me 50 cents a week to teach her guitar on Saturdays right after my guitar lesson while it was still fresh in my mind. We talked about becoming folk singers like Joan Baez. A few weeks after the Beatles made their debut on the Ed Sullivan Show, Susan told me she had obtained Paul McCartney's address. She made me pay 50 cents for it. For anyone who was there and was my age, it was clear that the Beatles were something brand new on earth, something worth screaming about. I wrote to Paul McCartney about how much I loved the Beatles, especially him. I poured out the contents of my adolescent heart to my favorite Beatle. Can you imagine how thrilled I was to receive an airmail letter weeks later from Liverpool, England? Rather than being from Paul, though, it was a very friendly letter from the McCartneys' neighbors, the address Susan had sold me. Tickled by my youthful infatuation and the fact that I was American, they encouraged me to call them Uncle Charlie and Aunt Ruthie. We had a happy correspondence for years afterward. My whole generation was opening the floodgates, pushing back hard against cultural pressures. People started living together openly without the benefit of marriage. The new freedom was evident everywhere. People kissed passionately in public parks, on sidewalks. Embarrassment was a thing of the past. Everything was about love. Romantic love, poetic love, love among strangers, love of your friends. During that time, I met a special person. We spent a lot of time kissing. We were going to get married in August. My father didn't trust him, though. He said he'd give his approval if my guy would work that summer and make $500. At least we'd have enough money to get a start in life. It seemed reasonable to me, but not to him. All those kisses, wasted. Devastated, I got ready to return to college. My grandmother, who was becoming forgetful, moved into a nice mobile home on our property. She came out to say goodbye to me. I approached my grandmother to give her a hug and a kiss goodbye, and that's when it happened. My tongue slipped right out. Oh yeah, as soon as it realized what it had done, it raced for the exit, but too late. My grandmother had noticed. Well, really, how could you not notice someone else's tongue inside your mouth? I looked at her, wondering what I could say. She wasn't looking at me, though. She was looking off into the distance, licking her lips. She was saying, I didn't know what that meant, but I wasn't going to ask. She had a little smile, After I had given everyone else a careful peck on the cheek, I began my long drive to Vermont. Thank you.